polite savages.
At this time, we ask that you turn off your portable electronic devices. You are now free to move about. Flight crew, prepare for landing. Flight crew, prepare for landing. Flight crew, prepare for landing. At this time, we ask that you turn off your portable electronic devices. You are now free to move about. Flight crew, prepare for landing.
Gorilla on the beat.
Ladies, gentlemen, and polite savages, how are you doing this evening? Welcome to another edition of Tip After Dark. So, first of all, I am concerned about my volume. I want to know, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Give me a 1 in the chat if you can hear me, and let's get it going, because I got something great for you guys tonight. I want to give a shout out to Trend, Chocolate Bunny. So, a little experience, just hopefully my volume's good. If my volume is not good, for the folks in the chat, let me know. We had a little fiasco with the volume yesterday. It was just sounding bad. I watched the playback. It was so bad that I put it on private, and I said I have to try it again. Like everything, I'm a person who, if I feel that I'm doing something wrong, I gotta get another shot at it. So here we go. remember a few years ago we had the Me Too movement. It was big. It was big. Me Too movement was something that really changed the face of politics. It changed the face of education, especially at the college level, and it really changed the face of on the employment level, especially as a manager. And what it did was it really took a situation where you were just going to believe anything a woman said. And so I just seen this Jason Derulo content, and I realized that certain things happen. And this is what I really want you to rock with me for a second. I'll tell you a little story, but certain things happen that when the economy goes down, when it gets rough, lawsuits go up, disability claims go up. You know, licked by lawsuit, as Corey Holcomb calls it. And so a story that happened to me was that back in the early 2000s, right about the .com bust in the Bay Area, you know, I was a retail manager. I was a younger man, retail manager. And when I say a retail manager, I was at the store level. I wasn't quite at the district manager level or at the corporate level yet. So I was still young. We're talking over 25 years ago. And there was a young lady, and for lack of better words, I'm just going to call her Princess, not a real name. And Princess was actually adversaries with one of my ex-girlfriends. I didn't really know. But Princess happened to be working for me at the time. Great relationship, very professional. But she always, when I was buying groceries, I was at a grocery store, she always wanted to take my groceries out to my car. Always wanted to take the groceries out to my car. And me as the boss, working 12-hour days on my feet, I really didn't mind. Because I don't know if you folks know, but on a grocery level, even as a manager, it's not really administrative. It's just like you get to do everything. So this lady, about 3 weeks later, I have human resources come up to me, and she says that I said something inappropriate to her. And it was just out there, man. She said that she bent over and she caught me looking at her butt and this and that. And first of all, she ain't got no butt to look at. But besides that, I was just at work. And when I'm at work, and everybody who's ever worked with me before, I pretty much look at the ladies as like just a walking, talking like a Ken or Barbie doll. Like, I don't care. I'm just here to work, right? And so this individual caused me all types of grief, to the point where I was really worried about my job, because in California, they would much rather get rid of you as a non-hourly employee. They would much rather get rid of you. Let me know if you guys can't hear me, you know, because I was really concerned about the sound. So anytime it's not sounding good, just let me know. But they're really not concerned about you. They're concerned about their business. And listen, that's a job. That's a company's job. So if you're an employee that absolutely does not like have any state protection, you will absolutely be out of there. So I got transferred around. I got this and that. I was actually interviewing for another position. That position went away. Luckily for me, I got recruited as a district manager to another company. But before I could leave, I had to make sure that I went through that entire process and get a sign off that I wasn't guilty. This was just an allegation. And this is before the Me Too movement. This is before Believe All Women. This is actually what people would actually like listen to you. And so I just want to juxtapose, and I want to let you know that winter is coming. And when I say winter is coming, I'm not talking about for the ladies. I'm talking about for all of us. It's about to get hard on the yard. Now, listen, I've lived through a lot of economic downturns, and I can tell a bubble when I see a bubble, and there is a bubble coming. And that bubble, it's going to be tough. So one thing I'll tell you, folks, and I'll tell you just like this, when that bubble comes, you got to have something, and you got to be prepared. Now, there's a lot of suggestions. My suggestion is, if you're not with somebody who, like, you know, luckily for me, I'm in a real relationship, and I have a partner who doesn't mind, you know, going to work, and I work all the time, and it's not like I'm depending on her. As a matter of fact, I would like her never to have to work again, and she could not work right now, but she will go to work, you know, because I think the biggest flex as a man is that when you put your wife out of work, and she just worked for you. That's what I think the biggest flex is. Everybody talk about this, and that's what I think. But hey, maybe I'm old-fashioned. I got this gray hair for a reason. but she's still willing to get down and put it down for the family. When you have that type of partnership that's working. So that's one suggestion. Another suggestion is if you don't have somebody that you can trust like that, then you better hopefully have some family you can trust. You guys should start pooling your resources together. Because what I seen today, this is the fourth quarter. And trust me, I come from a music/retail. Like when I was playing music, I had a job just like everyone else because playing music never paid the bills. So check this out. You guys have to understand that in the fourth quarter, where every company makes all of their money, and you see companies laying people off in the fourth quarter, there is a problem. There is a big problem because even if you're not directly connected to retail, most likely your company sees the outcome of that extra money in the economy circling. So I just want you folks to think about that. And we're gonna put this puzzle together. I got 3 clips. We're gonna talk about each one, and we're gonna put this puzzle together. And the first thing we're gonna talk about is just the reality of the economy that we're living in right now. I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to educate you. I'm here to let you know that you better get ready because it's a cold, cold winter coming. Polite savages.
All right, fresh new data shows employers in the private sector cut tens of thousands of jobs last month. Take a look at this. It's according to the payroll firm ADP. Private payrolls dropped 32,000 positions, and you see there, economists had predicted that we'd see 40,000 jobs added.
Take a look here. The estimate was for 40,000, so the street was off on this one. And how did you get there? Well, goods producing shed 19,000 workers, service producing shedding 13,000 workers. But the big story here, and I'll show you more detail on this, is what's happening with small business, down 120,000.
Between January and September 2025, there have been more than 946,000 job cuts announced, with roughly 300,000 from the government sector.
That's the highest since 2020, and it's a 55% increase from what we saw last year through the same time period.
Layoffs across the U.S. soared last month, marking the worst October cuts in 22 years. According to the firm Challenger Gray & Christmas, there were more than 153,000 layoffs in October. That's a 183% increase from the month before. It's also the highest number of job cuts for October since 2003.
So, as you see, our economy, no matter what anybody tells you, the real economy, not the AI economy. And we're going to talk a little about that too, because we've been talking about AI at the THPPP Network since 2018. If you look at our old videos, if you got some THPPtube members, you know, just the THPP members, as in at Loveverse, she is a member. So since she's a member, she has to get something. And I want to say what's up to everybody. Let me go on and give a little shouts out to Trend, the Chocolate Bunny, the Mental Agility. Interesting. So somebody said I'm pretty low now. Well, let me try this. Hopefully this is a little better. So let me know. Is my volume good now? Can I get a 1? Let me get a 1 if my volume's good. Get a 2 if it's not. 1 if my volume's good. 2 if it's not. Interesting. All right, so we're back to a 1. Okay, so I guess I get too comfortable and I got to put my face right on this microphone. But like I said, we're gonna work it out. One of the things that I wanted to do was I wanted to stream enough to really understand, and I'll get into why I'm doing this anyway. So let's see, where was I? I was telling everybody thank you for our THPP members. We got some new followers. Thank you very much. Uncle Guns in the house. So let me give you guys a couple of things. Now, because if you think that I'm not going to give y'all some appreciation, because if you can't be great without grateful, then I got something to tell y'all.
Delusional as fuck.
Because there's no way I'm not going to be grateful to all the folks who come in here, because you could be anywhere. You know, so all of our members, all of our people let me know that I sound good or if I sound bad. I say I got a lot of ladies in the house. Hey, ladies, I appreciate you. I know, you know, it's funny. It's funny. A lot of folks get really upset because we go hard on thoughts. But let me tell you something. I will never treat a woman like a thought. You know, Willie D told me let a hoe be a hoe in like 88. And I will. You gonna act that way, you want that reputation, I'll give you that reputation. You can lace them boots up and wear it, walk 2 ways up a hill in the snow, and go into church, get on them pew and pray. But what I'm not gonna do is treat a woman who respects herself any other way except a woman who respects herself. When a woman respects herself, you know, and this is going to really go into what I'm talking about, by the way. I'm not just rambling. When a woman respects herself, man, fellas just straighten up. Fellas just get themselves together. And you don't believe me? Man, I got some hard-headed, knuckle-headed cousins. We never swore in front of my aunties. We never swore in front of my aunties, in front of my moms. We never did that. Know why we didn't do that? We didn't do it because we understood what a real woman was. Hold on a second. Man, and we got our first super chat at the night. At Hustler 857-100. Finally see the face behind the voice. One of the reasons I do this because everybody thought I was AI. I guess I've been tripping like is Elon cloning my voice out there because everybody thought I was AI. But this is how I sound, this is how I look. You know, I think people thought at first like I was some cellar dweller, and they'd be like who never got out, never did anything. But I appreciate you, and for you, my friend, I got a little something for you. Because I appreciate your vision.
I respect your ambition, Willie, but you got to have vision.
Man. Thank you so much. And yes, the voice is it's not AI. And it's funny because people really think it's AI. One of the things that I have to do because just to give you a background on the voice, and this actually goes into what we're talking about. When I was 18, I got my first international gig. I spent the summer playing music in Japan, and I actually sang some jazz. When I was in my 20s, I played and toured with a funk band called The Motivators, and I sang backgrounds. I played some percussion, did whatever they wanted, actually. I was just happy. And this is back in the days when you're playing for $25 in a taco and just happy to be somewhere. As I got older, I realized I wasn't going to make a living playing music, even though I love music. So you do hear music on the THPP Network. That's all music I program, I play because I learned how to produce music. Had some good producer gigs, made some good money producing some music. But I had to use my degree and actually become a manager, an operations manager. I was going to be a lawyer, but I have a cousin who's in law and he hates it. He kind of talked me out of it. And why am I talking about this? Because I was on a first diversity initiative for the third largest grocery store in the country. This is back in the 90s. And what we did was we wrote the initiative, and believe it or not, all of this Me Too stuff actually comes out of this because it's changed, and bastardized. We wrote the first initiative to be, listen, if you don't like somebody, that doesn't make a difference. Pick people just based off of merit. And believe it or not, especially because people are like, well, what about the people who they're not educated enough and this and that? It's like, no. Let me tell you something. I grew up that I had to be 10 times better anyway. I'm going to get it anyway. You can't stop me. A matter of fact, a funny story is that there was a lot of folks who dogged me out. I became their boss and they had to get new jobs and I didn't care. You know, sometimes people say being petty is feminine. I was petty Pendergrass. You was going to have to work just as hard as I was working to keep that job. And I worked my ass off. And so a lot of people, I kind of showed people and I showed them success. When we wrote the diversity initiative, we actually said that you had to mentor people because it was more based on mentorship. You had to mentor people that you did not like. You had to mentor people who were not like you. You weren't supposed to be here. You weren't supposed to be here to make friends. You're supposed to be here to teach them and make stronger bench strength. So when that happened, that was that diversity initiative. And believe it or not, minorities, especially black folks and women, skyrocketed to management in the company. That's been bastardized to now, when you talk about diversity, And, I don't know why black people, why we run a diversity. We're number 9 or 5 to 9 on recipients of diversity now. Diversity is really now about, LGBT. It's really about trans. I guess that's part of LGBT. And women, white women. And so one of the things that I always tell people is that something can start off good and turn bad. I don't think anybody should be getting harassed on a job. But when the economy is bad, people will try to come up via lawsuit. And you're going to see a whole lot of it. A whole lot of it. Hold up. Mental agility. I want to thank you for the $5 super chat, my friend. I am grateful because you don't have to give $1 at a dime. Only thing I ask you is for your eyes and your time. So I want to give you a little something for that $5 holla.
Pork chop, extra gravy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And since I only gave a little vision to the other one, and since we have the highest, we have 51 people in the chat right now, I want to give y'all just a little something before I go to the next segment. We have a really, really, really great segment coming, but let me give you guys a little something for this, just so you can say that I appreciate you, because I appreciate your eyes and your time. And I see a lot of folks who are regulars on the channel. Man, I hope I'm saying your name right. Yasharalal, I'm probably slaughtering your name. I apologize, but you're always in the comments hitting me up. Creole, and man, I suck at names. Matter of fact, this is why I wish Scotty was here. Nicole, Hustler 857, Creole and Ola 504. Oh, Creole and Nola. Damn, I went to college in Louisiana. What's wrong with me? Creole Nola, what's up? I want to say thank you for everybody, and I hope this is a nice hello to all of y'all. Yes. Messy Michon. All right, so hold on. I got to stop the stream for Messy Michon. I'm going to get to the Corey Holcomb clip right next, but I got to stop the stream for Messy Michon. Man, Messy Michon has the funniest videos ever. She talked that shit. Man, I be sitting there laughing. I be having tears in my eyes. And actually who introduced me to Messy Michon, and I got an interesting story, so I'll be really quick on it, is El Guapo said, man, Messy Michon is like my guilty pleasure. And El Guapo's my guy. Guapo's my guy. And I was like, what? You got a guilty pleasure? Because, El Guapo, he's all buttoned up and tied up, this and that. And he's like, hi, I'm El Guapo. And you think my voice is smooth. El Guapo's voice sound like silk and butter. And so I'm sitting there, I'm like, yo, you like her. And then I was in the lead attorney's mastermind. And there was actually a lot of great content creators in there. And this is where I and I was just listening. And Messy was in there for a sec. I think she jumped in and jumped out. I know Guapo was in there. I know Theo Koo from the Do Better Pod was in there. I know that boy Will was up in there. And of course, Fawcett Media and Atlanta Street Interviews. It was a powerhouse. I was in there and I went from that mastermind. I went from 5,000 subs to, I think when it ended, I had about 80,000. And so I learned a lot there. But I want to give a lot of love to Messy Michon. I think she has the most underrated channel. I think that Messy Michon is so funny and so much personality. And I know she like to travel. I be following her on TikTok. She be on them boats. I just think it's awesome. I think she's awesome. So, and she gave me a 10 shot. So I got something for my sis. And since we are from the same generation, I think she gonna like this.
Check this ish, yo. I grew up on the crime side in New York Times side. Staying alive was no job. Had second hands, mom's bounce on old man. So then we moved to Shaolin Land. A young youth, yo, rocking the go-to flow goose. Only way I begin to G off was high-loot. And let's start it like this, son. Rolling with this one and that one. Pulling out gas for fun. But it was just a dream for the teen who was a fiend. Started smoking woolies at 16. And running up in gates and doing hits for high stakes, making my way on fire escape.
So Messy Michon, that one was for you. I just kind of think that that's going to resonate with your Generation X self like me. And also want to give another shout out. We got another one, man. And we got Hustler again with the $5 holler. Man, the content, to you, man, your contents are awesome every time. Polite savages. So I absolutely appreciate you. And since we got another $5 holler, let's holler at it. Yeah. Hey. Oh, and by the way, I see people saying they need the logo on a hoodie. Well, if you go on to our merch store, everything you see is on a hoodie. We got the Polite Savage. So, like, I'm in my home office, and I literally just spent all day, grabbed the merch. That's one of our Polite Savages. I literally spend all day just making content, merchandise. All day we hit it. And so if you check our store, we got the new I Am Himothy. I'm going to be getting my samples for that soon. But, you know, if you are Himothy, and if you understand what that means, you are him. We got a whole line of Polite Savage, and we got the Gorilla Black, which is that gentleman to the left or right of me. And we call him Gorilla Black. We have that. So I just want to thank all of you folks. And let's get down straight to the content. And I really think you're going to find what we have here going on interesting.
Hey.
It is now.
Lick through lawsuit.
Yep.
Hairstylists, barbers on set, everybody looking for a lick through lawsuit.
Costume.
You know what happened to Jonathan Majors, right?
Which one? About his girl? That girl?
The girl.
Yeah.
What'd she do on set?
Which one?
I think she was wardrobe.
Is that right? Now that I didn't know.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
The lady
that.
who was chasing him down the street.
So the one he met. That's how he met her? Oh, I did not know that.
Y'all got to learn when you on set, them people who there 12 hours a day, in between takes, they got to come fix. They are looking for lick by lawsuit.
Oof.
Lick by lawsuit. That's what they looking for.
Or even to sell stories, because, you know, people pay for information.
Everything you tell them.
It's for sale.
They capturing. Looking to motherfucking hang you with it. You don't believe me? Get an opportunity and talk too much on set.
Super interesting. So when he says get an opportunity and talk too much, this is so true. This is so true. And this is what I mean. I've been in situations where you're sitting around and you have to realize when you're doing business that people are not your friends. And you have to differentiate between businesses, friendship acquaintances, people you're friendly with, and people who actually fuck with you. And you don't believe me? How many times do people get confused in situations like, why is this person doing that? And when they get confused, not because If you thought that the person wasn't a true friend, you would never be confused. But you're sitting here thinking that somebody's a friend and they just somebody you do business with. A lot of times, especially fellas, you will mess around and just be comfortable with somebody, and you'll allow yourself in a room with somebody that you shouldn't be in a room with. You'll allow yourself standing too close to somebody you shouldn't stand close with. You'll allow yourself listening to something that you shouldn't even hear. Listening to something that you shouldn't even hear. And then all of a sudden somebody's telling you something that's inappropriate, and you'll hit something in California, what they call second party harassment. You don't even have to be doing nothing bad to that person who can sue you, and you can get sued guilty by association. And you don't believe me? I've seen it happen. I've been witnesses to things and said, hey, you guys have to stop. And these folks, I got upset at me because they're on their break, but I'm like, you can't do it anyway. You have to be careful. And not only must you be careful, you have to understand that regardless of how you feel about it, it's not really rational. Because a rational person, if you go someplace and people are like talking and they're BS and this and that, okay, it's off the record. There is no off the record. When you're a man in a workplace, there is no off the record. You will be sued. If you are a person in charge, you will be sued. If you are a exempt employee, meaning that you are salary, you will be sued. And it doesn't make a difference. And let me tell you something, the absolute worst that this economy gets, when it's falling off the cliff, when you got 1.1 million people this year who's lost their job, when they are laying off people by attrition, meaning that you had 5 people working on a line and now there's 4 and they're never hiring that other person. You just got to work harder. Now there's 3 and they're never hiring another person. You just got to work harder. Now there's 2 and you're killing yourself and they're never hiring another person. Well, guess what? Your ass just better work harder. Those last 2 people, they are looking for a way out. They are tired, they are desperate, and they don't care. And guess what? You thought you were their friend. You are just food. Your ass will get sued. And they will set you up. You don't believe me? I've seen it happen. I've seen careers in tech. I've seen careers in retail. And I've seen careers in the restaurant industry destroyed. Absolutely destroyed. You let yourself get too friendly with somebody, especially a woman, and she's hitting on you, man, you better walk away. You better not mess around in the workplace. You better not fish off the company pier. You better not shit where you eat. You better not do nothing like that. You better walk your ass the hell out of there and get on, especially if you black in a room full of white girls. And I don't want to make it a race thing, but let me tell you something. Miss Purdy will get you caught the fuck up. And I've seen it happen to the strongest of men and the most stupid of men and the most intelligent of men. Because sometimes when it comes down to it, a man's weakness is in his pants. And a woman talking sweet to you, you might just like it a little bit too much. That lick by lawsuit is crazy. And guess what? It don't have to be real. They can just make up some shit. They can just make it up. Out of thin air. Out of thin air. They could just be imagining that you did something wrong or kind of heard it wrong. And now, because especially in these liberal states, you can sue somebody for anything. Anything. In California, and I've worked in human resources before, every complaint must be investigated. What they don't tell you is that every complaint is investigated as if that person is telling the truth. They don't investigate it like that person's lying. Even if it's ridiculous, and somebody tells you something absolutely ridiculous, you could not be at work that day. They're still going to investigate and talk to everybody about you. And what happens is that when they wind up finding out other things, they wind up doing other things. So maybe you weren't harassing somebody, but maybe you're doing something else wrong, breaking the company policy that everyone's breaking. They just let your ass go. Man, I know you guys have seen the Jason Derulo. You've seen the thumbnail. When I found out what he was accused of, it blew my mind. When I found out what that man was accused of, it blew my mind. I mean, what do you think about that? Do you guys know? Anybody in the chat? Let me know if you know what happened with Jason Derulo and what he was accused of and why his career was just debarred. Why he's been caught, why he lost millions of dollars, that he said, millions of dollars. He lost at least $100,000 instantly in brand deals just that day. Anybody in the chat, can you tell me what the main accusation was? And by the way, it's ridiculous. So what do we say here? What do you think? Yeah. It's such a ridiculous thing that when you hear it and somebody followed up on it, it's going to let you know how exactly full of shit that this system is, and how the Me Too movement, how the Believe All Women movement.
Believe all women.
How that absolutely destroyed not only the economic system that we're in, but it also did something that a lot of women weren't understanding. It stopped men from approaching. It stopped men from approaching altogether.
Men don't come up to you, not even, nobody comes up to you in the club. Nobody comes up to you in the club. They be scary as fuck, and I don't understand why.
Men absolutely stopped. And the reason why they stopped was because men understood that no matter what they do, if they were innocent or not, they were presumed guilty before anything else. Due process don't mean shit. I'm going to play this Jason Derulo clip. Polite savages.
There's a lawsuit not too long ago by an artist that was like hired to your label that was dismissed.
Twice.
What did you learn going through that?
Never work with women.
Oh, come
on. There's truth in every joke. But it's a sad truth. Like, I will never be alone in a room with a woman that I work with, like ever again. I lost so many brand deals, relationships off of a story that was not even slightly believable. She said I sacrificed a goat in a sexual ritual. All people read was the headline, right? And that's all it takes to lose everything. That's a crazy concept. I lost millions of dollars off of an arbitrary story that some woman told. Like a crazy story that some woman told. So, with that being said, how can I be comfortable being in a room with a woman that I work with and not feel like she can just say whatever she wants?
Sacrificing a goat. What in the entire speckled frog dick is going on here? Can you imagine having to say to somebody, having to defend yourself against that you sacrificed a goat in a sexual ritual, and you got to disprove this? It didn't happen, so how are you going to disprove it? This is stupid. And let me tell you something, there's a lot of lies that's been going on. A lot of lies that's been going on about men, and I'm going to say, men in general, but a lot of lies that black women and the media are pushing towards black men. And I don't want to demonize black women, because other women do it too. Like, one thing that we may pay attention to our own demographic, but there's some nastiness all the way around. I mean, we seen nastiness in other races. We seen how what's that kid from Flagrant 2, Akash Singh, We seen how his wife was out there just clowning. She was just breakdancing with his reputation, talking about, he out here talking about, when I met my wife, we were both virgins, and I was a 31-year-old virgin, and she was 22-year-old virgin. We were both virgins. And then she went out there talking about, I was popping my pussy with these frat boys. Then she had the nerve with all of this cabbage to turn around and say, oh, popping my pussy. I thought that was just dancing and gyrating. What? You thought that was just dancing and gyrating. So she made that man look like a total and complete fool. We seen the struggle Dr. Bryant. Literally say that 90% of black men would never be married when 36% of black men are currently married in the United States. You seen the struggle Dr. Bryant say that the most self-deletions in the United States happen by black men, where it's not true per capita or per number. It's not true. Per percentage, per capita, per number, nothing. It's not true. She's just making up stats. Making up stats to make the sisterhood feel good and make us look bad as men. And the bad part is this. We supposed to be together. Men and women, we supposed to work together. And the irony is, when we don't work together, we fail together. But let me tell the ladies of the community something. Let me tell you now, I want to be real. It's cold out there. It's cold. And a lot of fellas, they have figured out other ways to find them to be with somebody. And this November, it showed us a lot.
Remember the 1st of November. Winter is here.
This November, it showed us a whole lot. It showed us people crashing out. It showed people very nervous about getting something, about a handout. It showed that when you depend on somebody who doesn't care about you, you just get slapped around and made a pawn. People were made political pawns. It showed us that when people think of EBT, when people think of that, they think of us, even though we're number 9 on the list, percentage-wise, where nobody thinks about Afghan people when 48% of people from Afghanistan are the recipients of EBT. They never think of that. They never think of that. And we have to stop falling for the marketing. We fell for the marketing on the Me Too movement. Me Too movement, Black Lives Matter. Both of them ripped people off. Both of them full of shit. And I made a Black Lives Matter fraud video, and people were in my comments talking about, what are you talking about? Why are you saying this again? Why are you bringing up old stuff? I'm like, man, first of all, they still getting convicted. Second of all, $86 million out of the community. We all talk about how much we need money and how we're broke and how we should have money going to the community. And we're going to take $86 million and they are going to buy mansions and this and that with it and just rip people off, and people are giving to them still. What I'm saying is that we shouldn't fall for the marketing. We should scrutinize everything, and we should understand that you are behind enemy lines, and especially men in the workplace. You seen what happened to Jason Derulo. He is an entertainer. This woman said he sacrificed a goat. That case got dismissed twice. So it went once, it got dismissed, they appealed it, and it got dismissed again. He still lost everything. He still lost millions of dollars. So what the hell are they going to do to you? Because he got some money. What they going to do to your broke ass? You need men to make sure that you are not around these folks. And you need to know the damn difference. You need to know the damn difference between a friend, someone who's friendly, and someone who absolutely doesn't care about you, but they might make money with you. These are all things I learned. I'm going to tell you folks, my mentor when I was growing up, I had 3 mentors, right? Well, I lied. My biggest mentor in my life was my dad. My dad taught me manhood. My dad was up at 4:30 in the morning every day. He didn't have to go to work till 6:30, but he had a whole ass routine that he did. And I don't know if it was because of military, but it was the whole routine that my dad did. I could call my dad at 6:30. I'd be like, Dad, what you doing? He'd be like, boy, you know what I'm doing. I'm on my way to work. You got a problem? He was so early for work that I could talk to my dad for a half an hour and he would still get to work on time. My dad was a hell of a man. God bless his soul. He would have been 80 years old this year. On November 19th, he would have been 80 years old. I talk about my dad with pride. Had a real dad who gave me structure. I got uncles who gave me structure. I got 2 cousins who played in the NBA. They gave me structure. Men in my family are men. You don't believe me? Ask any woman who's been around any men in my family. Even the ones they can't stand, they look back and say, man, he was a son of a bitch, but he was a man though. He took care of his business. So what I'm saying is that I had structure and I had an understanding. So that's one of my mentors. I've had a very diverse mentors. Another mentor of mine was a Palestinian gentleman. He was an old Palestinian man, and he taught me finances. He actually ran a bank. And he taught me the difference between compounding interest. He taught me how much things really cost, and he would talk crazy to me. But he was a smart dude. God bless his soul. He's dead now. His name was Saeed. I had a mentor who was a Chinese person who actually owned a business. His son didn't want to do anything. He taught me that business. And my most important mentor I had was somebody in grocery who was an old redneck. And I thought this person didn't like black people. And he said, no, I don't like anybody. He taught me how to investigate everything that they said. He saved my job 3 times. People were lying on me, and he said, you better follow up on this. You better follow up on this. You better follow up on this. Mentors come in all groups. All of them would tell me the same thing about being around women. No matter how good they look, no matter what they say to you, you better make damn sure she's down for you. And that's in your personal relationships, but in your business relationships, there's no reason why that woman should know anything about you. It's too easy to get sued. Do you believe that this person said he sacrificed a goat? How do you disprove that? How do you disprove it? There's a lot of things that I see and I think people are bad. But we have to be careful of automatically believing these things. And it seems like we want to believe narratives about folks that we don't like. Everybody ain't doing everything bad. But it's our own, from now on, if you get caught up in this mess, it is your fault. You got too much evidence out there to let you know. You got too much evidence. It's like getting married without a prenuptial agreement. You got too much evidence to let you know what the hell is going on out there. If you're around somebody and they are trying to be cool with you, ask yourself why on the workplace. I do business with folks of other channels, and we already put the money out there. We say what the money's about to be. I got one brand deal. I already gonna know what the money's about. I tell you guys, and I have to believe in it. I don't hawk a lot of stuff. I got a content creator school. Every time when I talk to folks, I ask them, what can I do better? Are you getting the value out of it? I don't want no BS. I'm too old for it. I'm too seasoned, and I know what's going on. What do you guys think about that? I see, hey, KS Sagar, what is up? What is up, KS Sagar? 1, 2, 3. If I'm saying it wrong, please forgive me. You got a couple of really great comments. One of your comments said that they're too busy blaming black men who don't date out when it comes to cash leaving the community. Interesting. And he also said it's wild, but men are still marrying without prenups. Yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy because only thing you got to do is tell them no alimony and no legal fees if you don't have anything, and it's just going to save you. Hey, you could do that. It's easy. You don't have to be crazy. You don't have to, I don't believe in telling somebody, well, if you gain 30 pounds, I got to go. That's crazy. I mean, you can't put that. People gain weight, people lose weight, whatever. I don't think that, somebody gained 500 pounds, you're going to leave anyway. But I do think that just no child support and no stuff like that. Just having the information, and especially about the workplace. Because this lick by lawsuit, this come up, man, you about to see it explode. Because as people are about to get laid off, and these layoffs are coming, as people are about to get laid off, they are going to try anything to save them jobs. And they are going to start telling people, hey, this person was doing this person to me. This person's been saying this. This person's been doing that. Man, you see how people start snitching. Man, people start self-snitching. People start snitching over little things. When the economy's good and they can get another job, what do you think they're going to do when there ain't no jobs out there? What do you think they're going to do? when there's no bread on the table. They gonna make up something and get you. This Jason Derulo, this should be a cautionary tale to you. Derulo, excuse me, should be a cautionary tale. Look at the economy. The first thing we played was about how the economy is as bad as it is since 2020. I don't care what they say, it's a recession. ADP, private jobs, small businesses, letting people go. Small businesses, you used to be able to go to a small business and get a job. Why are small businesses losing so much money? They're losing money because they don't have the ability to leverage the AI tools and to cut like other folks are. So small businesses are laying people off. Other folks, they're laying people off, but they're doing it by attrition. They're not bringing people back. Man, I could talk about this all day. You guys don't understand. I know I talk celebrity news and this and that, and I'm going to mix a little in here, but you don't understand. My background is business and operations. I've seen this over and over and over again. It's a broken record. Whoop you when I want to. Whoop you when I want to. It's a broken record. What happens is that the economy gets bad. People start running and hiding. The rats leave the ship first. So you look at it, everybody divesting from the stock market. Those are the rats leaving the ship first. If they're smart, they go in there, put their money in other places. So you see gold going up. You see crypto exploding over the last few months. You see all of these other places exploding. You see the American dollar being weak, and you see these businesses absolutely suffering. And the only thing that's holding up the economy right now are 5 companies, and they better not fail, or it's a hell of a time. 2008 again. I'm just telling you, folks, do not get caught. If you have a job, do not get caught with this lick by lawsuit, because these ladies, especially if you're in a leadership position, but even if you're not, don't fall for the marketing. Man, I used to not go to no company outings. Even at the last company I worked for, I've been working for myself strictly on content since I think March. But before that, I was absolutely not going at all to any of these companies. Grover, come out to dinner with us. Nah, I'm cool, man. I gotta go home. I could cook a steak at home. I don't need your money. Only time I went is when the boss's boss is boss. I'm talking about the VP of the company. Told me I had to go. Me and my whole area had to go. That's the only time I went there. My boss just asked me. I'd be like, nah, I'm sorry. I ain't going. Right. So Into Deep says, I was in a meeting 5 years at a large health insurance, and they were talking about AI to replace admin costs. Yes. Here is something interesting. In 2014, I built a warehouse. I was head of warehouse operations, and I built a warehouse network of 17 warehouses for a startup at the time. Startup's not around no more. I didn't have an NDA anyway. They weren't that smart, so I could talk about them. I just won't say the name because they're still doing other businesses, and they were decent people. They told me that their idea was to have nothing but machines, and that they wanted 3 people in each warehouse. 3 people. They wanted 3 people for every 10,000 square feet, and they wanted nothing but machines. They wanted machines picking. They wanted machines packing. They wanted machines taking the orders, and they just wanted somebody there to fix the machines. So I just want you to think about it. The average warehouse of 5,000 square feet probably got about 6 people per shift. That's 12 people. They wanted to take 12 people and boil it down to 3. That's the job losses that we're experiencing. Man, it's a cold winter, bro. So what do you guys think about it? Let's see what the comments think about it. You guys think I'm tripping? You think I'm tripping about that lick by lawsuit? I think it's going to really explode. I think we're going to see a lot of things. I mean, we had Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. I'm going to tell you guys even this. Even the Puffy situation, which is in the news, which we did a stream on it yesterday, even that Puffy situation, Cassie would have settled for money before all of this happened. If he would have paid her, this would have never came out. Remember, after he didn't pay her, then that video came out of him beating her. Okay. Uncle Guns. Yes, that's a very good point. Replace jobs, do that enough, and there's nobody working to buy product. Nobody supports the company, causes bankruptcy. Yes, except 11% of the population control about, I think, between 80% of the wealth. They don't care what happens. They just care about themselves. That's what I think. I think that unemployment plus up, giving people a little money, during the great pandemic, I think that was just a test of the emergency broadcast system. Let me get my tinfoil hat on. I think it was just a test. I think that it was data that they were mining, and I think that they found out that a lot of people just like to stay at home and get a little money, and they'd be happy with just enough money to make it. A universal basic income, and that'd just be good. And after a while, I mean, what's money anyway, right? In Too Deep, you're right. Don't mess with women in the workplace, and I don't mess with women in the workplace. And I've had, you talk about tough. I've had female bosses who every female boss I've ever had always want to go out. And when I say I don't mean go out like trying to hit on me, I mean they just want to go, Grover, you're cool. Let's go out. Let's go have a couple of drinks, this and that. And I'm like, hell nah. And when I did go out, it's like, all right, I went out twice a year to a dinner with all the bosses. That's what I did twice a year. But I mean, even my last boss, she did that. Yeah. Lucky Swan Service, my show does have commercials because it's YouTube, and YouTube is here to sell commercials, bro. It's not, I don't know what I could do. It's just a platform. I understand that. Lucky Lawn Services, I understand that. I'll look in the back office to see if I can slow them down. But most lives do have commercials. I mean, I've watched plenty of lives with commercials. So hopefully it's not a ton of them. I'll look at it. If there's a ton of them, then I think there's a way to slow it down. But I'm, barring turning off monetization, then if you turn off monetization, that it's a catch-22 with YouTube. Just explain this to you. You turn off monetization, they won't send your live out. Nobody will see it. But I will say that I understand how folks do feel like that, but it's kind of a way to support us. And hey, I got a commercial I'm supposed to play from from Aura, and I just tell folks all the time, like I'm bad at products like that. But I'll tell you this: one of the things that does happen, and I'll just say, it's pinned. It should be pinned in the description of the video. You got a 2-week trial for Aura, and it identity monitoring, which actually works. So there you go. But and just like, like especially the folks on the live, when people are respectful, I hella appreciate y'all, man. You cannot be great without being grateful. And I really want to take this time to talk about two things, because that's kind of like what I got for as the topic goes. I don't like to spend 3 or 4 hours milking it. I'm not here saying, oh, I'm going to lock out the chat if you don't get my likes up. I haven't even asked for likes. Please like it. If you like it, like it. If you don't like it, don't like it. If I could do better, I could do better. If I could do better, I'm gonna do better. Like yesterday, my sound was really bad. I think the sound is fixed today. That's the only way we can get better if we do it. I mean, and just the format of this live stream. This is Tip After Dark. This is like in a personal live stream. This is like topics that I feel like. Two announcements for the channel. Two announcements for the channel. Scotty is now a father. Me and Scott started Tip Network. We wanted to talk about a couple of things, but what we wanted to do was I wanted to talk about things that really pertain to my side of the spectrum. Scott talks about his side of the spectrum, and I don't know if you guys really see that. So check it out. Scott himself, like when we talk about Jenny Mom, when we talk about folks that aren't really like FBA stuff, even though Scott actually really appreciates Kevin Samuels. He really appreciates the business. He actually introduced me to the business. He thinks Jason Black is very insightful. Scott really likes Rizza Islam. And I don't think that when people are saying something that has value, it has value. Even if it's aimed at someone else, you still should extract value from it. I mean, I think that. But Scott himself is a father. Scott introduced me to all of this stuff. Which is funny because, dude, Cat Daddy's half Vietnamese. And I was like, what are you doing watching all this? And he's like, listen, I don't think I have a right to be involved in it. And Scott never wants to talk about, he doesn't talk about, when I talk about, if I go in on somebody with a bonnet, Scott's like, listen, bro, it's not my fight. And it's right. It's right. It's not his fight. That's me. That's me worried about the image of my folks. He's worried about the image of Vietnamese people because there's some Vietnamese gangsters out there. He's like, I don't like that either. And so that's his thing. That's how the channel works. But for these topics, the Tip After Dark is usually just me talking about my experiences and stuff like that. We do live streams with both of us together. It's more universal, So that's what this is, right? And really funny is that Jason Black, he really strikes me as has a journalistic background. I don't know the gentleman. I don't know how he looks. I don't know. Never talked to him. Strikes me as somebody with a journalistic background. I did see him kind of talk to, I believe I think Austin Hollerman was on there, and he was talking to him about Passport Pro stuff. And Jason Black just backed him in the corner and drilled him and had him admit something. And Austin Hollerman's a young dude, and he's not really tripping. And I don't think Austin Hollerman's a bad guy, but I do think that you have to be very careful where you go and be ready for where you're going, because you wind up telling people stuff that you don't want to talk about. And these dudes are smart out here. These dudes are really smart. So, when I started content, I was actually a big O'Shea Duke Jackson fan. I thought it was funny. MTR, I was a big fan of MTR. I think MTR is pretty good, pretty insightful. Certain people I liked, but I didn't. I liked some of the information, and I took the good with the bad. Like Anton Daniels, I take the good with the bad. Anton, I don't like all of his views, but I do like his aspect on just getting your stuff together. I think it's pretty dope. So there we go. That's just how the channel started. Anyway, so last thing I got for you folks, and I'll answer any questions, any questions in the chat, and I'm gonna say hello to a couple of people, give people a little shouts out. But last thing I have for you folks is that if you're interested in making content, I started in 2018. Nobody ever told me anything. I got an Elite Attorneys Mastermind. When I was in the Mastermind, I think I did a good job helping people with VODs. If you want to do this, first of all, I don't lie to people. I don't tell you, man, I got the secret sauce. I'm gonna make you $1 million. No people I've helped have made money. We gotta be honest with each other. YouTube, every time you go live, every time you put out a video, YouTube makes a ton of money off of you. YouTube's not here for free. YouTube sells ads whether you monetize or not. YouTube will ad you to death. And the bad part is that you don't really have a choice, right? You want to be on a platform. You go to other platforms and they kind of suck. They're fun, but they kind of suck. It's really hard to get a following. Most people with big followings on other platforms brought them from YouTube. But if you want to learn, we've put together a curriculum. Actually, let me be honestly, I've put together a curriculum that really addresses the challenges that folks tell me they have and that I've had to find out. Like, here's the biggest challenge. What software can I stream with to actually have good lives? You know, StreamYard's a very easy software. People use it, but StreamYard degrades your quality, and it's hard to have good lives with StreamYard unless you're doing a panel show. I'm using Meld Studio right now, and I actually started using this to test it so I could talk to my students and tell them the good and the bad about it. So this is not OBS, it's Meld Studio. And Meld Studio, you can do stuff, right? You can change. You can have different scenes, and you could have stuff like this.
I have come here to kick ass.
So you can do that, which you can't really do stuff like that on a StreamYard. However, Meld Studio has its backgrounds. Like sometimes it moves a little slow. If you don't have your Stream Deck really dialed in, you'll be in a lot of trouble. So anyway, if you want to learn content, for the people who are coming to these early lives, I got an early bird special. It's usually $100 a month. For the entry level, it's usually $100 a month. And what that gives you is 4 class sessions of 2 hours once a week. They're all recorded. You get an AMA session, and the AMA isn't a Q&A. An AMA asks me anything. It's like, you got a big problem. Me using Meld as an AMA because somebody said, hey, man, I need to use something besides StreamYard. And so I was testing Meld. Scott did OBS. I was talking to a friend of ours, AV, and I think she was working with Ecamm, and I'm just getting information so I can relate to it. This is the up and downs of this. I did this, he did this, and we put it together and present it to you in a class. In an AMA, so you submit it and ask a question. How do you submit it? You get access to our Discord server. In our Discord server, you can message me and say, hey, I'm really having a problem with this. Can you solve it? Some of the things we did, like what's my best camera for vlogging? And I think it's so I actually I have some vlog cameras that I get. Some of them I get from companies that want me to try something. And, you know, and I get to give that information. So I have right here, this is a DJI Pocket Osmo 3, best thing for vlogging. Took it with me when I shot my food content in Brazil. It was absolutely amazing. So folks, if you want to learn how to do that, I got a limited on our Patreon. I'm moving everything to Patreon, twice a week via Zoom, and then once a month we have a Q&A. One of the classes we have channel reviews. The other class we have a curriculum. I encourage anyone to try it. We should be pinned in the chat. You go there and give it a shot. And if you think it's not worth it, then you talk to me. I'll give you your money back. I believe in what I do, and we do everything from thumbnail design, getting your music cleared. I don't know if you guys noticed, but THPPP Network, we use a lot of different clips. How do you get around copyrights? What's the definition of fair use? How can you win fair use? And how do you get around that? I actually consulted with an attorney, and we went through down a rabbit hole so I can actually make my channel better. And instead of you having to pay the $1,000 to talk to an attorney for 3 hours, attorneys are hell of expensive. I already did it, so I can tell you. I worked with an intellectual property attorney, and he went through exactly what was fair use and what was not fair use and what has a better chance of winning in court and not. Because sometimes, even if you're doing a reaction, you lose. How do you do it? So if you guys want to know this stuff, I'll be more than happy to help you. I want to give a shout out to everybody who's in the chat right now and who's here, who's left a comment. I'm totally just flattered. I got Pooh Man, Kasager. I know Messy Mashan was here. Messy Mashan, if you're still here, I just want you to know, love you to death, love your channel. Hustler 857-100, one love to you. Uncle Guns, I always want to give a shout out to Uncle Guns, and I'm gonna make a special super chat for Uncle Guns. I'm gonna make something considered the Navy. Uncle Guns is like the OG of the Manosphere. He's been in everyone's mod. Malice 7021, I appreciate you. Captain Tech 1. Is that teacher? No, Captain Teach 1. Man, when I don't be wearing my glasses, woo. In Too Deep, love it. Thank you so much. Lucky's Lawn Service, thank you. Even though I do have a lot of commercials, I'll try to fix that. Man, I just want to thank all of you folks. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I tell people all the time, no matter what you think the situation is, I'm just a guy who's trying to give my opinion, and I really want to make sure that what I've done in the world and what I've done, because I've been so fortunate, and a lot of folks haven't been in that position. I've traveled the world. I've seen every continent except of course I haven't been to the poles and I haven't been to Oceania. I've lived in 2 different countries besides this one. I've been fortunate, and I was fortunate because I had a strong family foundation, real men in my family who didn't take no shit. A matter of fact, the funniest story I always tell is that I have an uncle who was in the army. He was a first sergeant. His name was Robert. And one day I had this map and all of these like marks on the map, and I said, and he comes in my office, and you know, Robert always sounded like he didn't smoke a ton of cigarettes. He's like, nephew, what's this on your wall, boy? And I was like, damn, you in here all of my stuff, right? You know, it was right by the picture of my Michael Jackson picture. I was pretty young, right? Oh, by the way, got that Thriller sweater. I ain't playing with you. And I said, these are all the places where I want to go. And he said, what you waiting for, your mama to buy you a ticket? And he just walked out. Because the men of my family always told you, if you want to do it, go get it. And that was very important. Nobody was going to do it for you. My uncle traveled the world through the military. My other uncle played music. He was Philip Bozette. He was a bass player in South Africa, in the orchestra. And so we've been lucky. I've been lucky to go all around the world. I want to give people that knowledge. I'll talk about traveling a little. You know, pre-passport borough movement, we were traveling when it was dangerous. And I'll talk about stuff like this that I really understand, because I really understand that when the economy gets low, people think about how can I make it? They start suing. And with this new thought process that's come about a decade ago, just believe anything, man, your ass is grass if you get caught out there. So that's all I got for you. This is Tip After Dark. Polite savages. Ask yourself one burning question. Can you handle the tip? THPP, baby. And as always, thank you. I'm grateful. And we'll see you on the next one. I think the next stream we're going to do is probably Sunday night. This was kind of a do-over from yesterday, learning the product. And I'm going to keep it coming. Salute. And y'all take care of yourselves. One love.